I joined Sova actually as a long-time partner, so I've actually known Sova since the start, so since when Alan founded it some sort of seven or 8 years ago. And actually, by background, I'm actually an org psych by trade, so I'm actually very connected to the topic as it relates to talent assessment. And I've always been a very strong advocate for the power of assessment when utilised correctly and actually applied for organisations. So for me, the excitement of joining Sova is probably a couple of things. One, Sova itself as a unified platform in its approach from between its obviously high validated science as well as a technology platform which makes it a very contemporary, accessible and very effective way of bringing assessment to workforces, which has been a challenge for the industry for a long time. So Sova is, in its approach and its technology, has really managed to address that. And from a industry perspective, having been in talent acquisition for most of my career, largely doing, I guess, large-scale talent acquisition services for enterprise clients globally. A big component of talent acquisition has been very positively impacted by incorporating assessment into that process, and not just from the ability to really understand what talent you're bringing on board, but actually utilising assessment as an engagement in the experience, which is half the challenge for recruitment, which is, how do you engage talent into a process to then manage to select and onboard them or hire them to do that. So for Sova to be able to impact those things is a really exciting opportunity. For me, if I distill it down, the one thing that CEOs and boards need to achieve and must promise to have shareholders believe in the story that they're going to be sustainably competitive into the future is they must be able to understand their talent needs, not just now, but they need to understand what they need in the future. And to be able to do that, you need to be able to assess talent for its capability, more than just their actual experience and the skills they have today. The opportunity is immense across Asia, but I guess having been, invested my entire career for the last 20 years in Asia, the one thing that is true is that because it's not a homogenous talent market, whether culturally, language-wise and everything else, so the opportunity here is to help largely multinationals make sense of their talent strategies. Not so much challenges, really it's still an opportunity. And so for us, it's really about engaging the markets and meeting, our enterprise clients where they're at for their talent strategies. So, we're very heavily, we're really nicely established in Australia for the last 6 years, and it's quite a mature market when it comes to talent assessment and just talent strategy generally. But if you look across Asia as multinationals increasingly make aggressive investments into, markets where they're gaining for economies of scale or access to talent, where it's, high talent markets like in India, like in China. Equally, the ability to understand the talent that you're trying to engage. How do you ensure that you're not just hiring any sort of talent, but you're actually hiring talent that's really capable and has the right motivation to deliver what you need? This is where I think the opportunity is for Asia.